This is funny.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Memes. What would two college students, now rising sophomores, know about such a complex topic?
Girl, get ready, they gonna meme your ass to death, bitch. Wait, what does meme mean? You know how they, meme. Yeah, that.
Well, Evan, I'm glad you asked. The coining of the term meme dates back to 1976 in the book The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins. It was related in an evolutionary sense to a gene, as both served the purpose of transmitting information. Memes were tunes and ideas, and very similar to political satire. But now, all of these forms have converged, and it's the good old memes we find on TikTok and Facebook.
I would say a meme is a funny picture that's been like captioned in some sort of way.
For something to become a meme, people have to be able to like relate to it on like a certain level. A commonly known like joke or funny like pun or something.
This is Rachel, a junior at UC Berkeley studying computer science. She's a moderator for Zoom memes for Self-Quaranteens.
So it is a meme page dedicated to mostly the college students' shared experience of having to move to online classes through Zoom, specifically all of us being quarantines and just all the memes related to that quarantine life. And it just blew up. We're almost at like 600,000 members, just crazy. Like blew up super fast. The best thing that's come out of this is like that greater sense of community. I think definitely connecting everyone and having the chance to meet people that you otherwise would not have met. Moderators would kind of see like the dirtier side of the meme page, I guess. When we're approving memes, like, or at least I try to think of like, oh, like even if I don't necessarily feel a certain way about this, how may like some other people feel about this? So I try to put in one more step of like just caution before I approve these memes. So I think maybe after everything's ended, it'll probably be, like the post-pandemic memes of like, oh, when you can finally go outside and like blah, 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 right? I don't know, but I think when things might change a little, it's like a few years from now, because then the pandemic will be far enough behind where it's like, what is this like meme page for? So I can see us staying as like a group, like a community of like college students in general, people who kind of share this page and all the communities that come out of it as like a marker of like, oh, this is something that we all went through. So I'd say I'm optimistic about the things that we may potentially do down the line.
I want to break free. I want to break free.
My name is Pollyanna. I go to Boston University. I go to social media a lot throughout the day to just like de-stress a little bit, because it's been a pretty stressful and like anxious couple of days. And so I think it's a great way to like bring people together and just shed a little light to this awful situation that we're all going through. The amount of people that have been dying is just, we don't really like look at that because we're making so many jokes about it. And so it loses a little bit of its seriousness. But at the same time, I think it's a good thing for us, just because in a way we're all thinking about it and we all know how bad of the situation we're in. And so by making these jokes, we're just kind of like, okay, it's fine. Like let's just like not over stress about this. I do think sometimes they can go a little overboard, and instead of just being like funny and entertaining, they can just be hurtful to others, which is not cool and definitely not the purpose. But as long as they're just fun ways of just passing the time, then I think there's nothing harmful in that.
Yeah, there's definitely like a sense of community most people like know and recognize, and like honestly, even beyond like the coronavirus, comforting in knowing that like everyone else is experiencing the same things you are. I don't think Zoom memes are gonna like solve people's like depression or anxiety surrounding the situation, obviously, but I definitely like I said before, it definitely helps with a sense of community and this feeling of like okay, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one whose like sleep schedule has like completely been messed up by this.
One of the other purposes is like being able to relate to people, right? And so like obviously with this whole thing, everyone is in a similar situation, like stuck at home or whatever, right? So self-quarantine. In this sense, yeah, it's obviously, one purpose is just sharing humor, sharing things they find funny, but also it's, relating to other people. It's like, oh, this is such a, common thing that everyone experiences. So other people are suffering the same, are in the same situation that you are, right? I think it generally, it helps.
Like you see a meme and it's like, oh, it's like nice to know I'm not alone. All these people who've like reacted and commented, they're all going through the same thing. It took all of us being physically isolated to be like more united.
Memes are incredibly beneficial. Quarantine is a rough time for everyone, and Zooming for quarantines is just one way that students are helped mentally and emotionally. Zoom memes help boost morale and make students feel more connected when we are all so far apart. Now, what better way to end than to show you our favorite memes? Memes. Stop it! Do you want to do some